right, it's a beautiful Thursday morning today, the 30th day of April 2026. It happens to be the last day in April, and I'm a little excited. You're on to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio situated here in the heart of Olawole, in the city of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. My name is Kunle Olowu, and I would like to welcome you to another edition of Perspective Unlimited. On the seat this morning with me as the analyst is Olawole Konsani. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Chief.
Yes, sir. I hope you had a restful night.
Oh, God is always good. How about you?
Okay, yeah, thank God. Anyway, we have in front of us now three newspapers that we'll be looking at the headlines, and of course, of which we would start discussions on some topical issues on those on the headlines that we are going to be reading this morning. This morning we have three newspapers in front of me. We have The Guardian, we have Vanguard, and we also have Tribune newspaper. Digging deep into The Guardian, as seen this morning, the 30th day of April, the largest caption on The Guardian this morning reads, Atiku Tinubu trades blame as US moves to tighten oversight on Nigeria. That story is on page 6. And then on page 5, Tinubu backs Hamzat for Lagos APC Guba ticket. That's talking about the upcoming 2027 election in Lagos State. And on page 6, ADC faces external test as today's Supreme Court verdict shapes 2027 prospects. And still on the front page of The Guardian this morning, Tinubu removes NMDPRA CEO in public interest, nominates Umar. That story is on page 3. And still on page 3, court grants FG's plea for witness protection, accelerates trial of suspects. And still on page 3, fear over oil gluts as NNPCL increases crude prices across grades. That story is on page 3 of The Guardian this morning. And Tinubu seeks end to crisis, OK's 2 billion relief for victims. That story is on page 30. And finally on page 4, NMA rejects court's ruling granting FCCPC oversight over medical negligence. That story is on page 5 of The Guardian this morning. Now moving over to the front page of the Vanguard. On the Vanguard this morning, the largest caption reads, Supreme Court to determine PDP ADC faith today. That story is on page 5, and the writer stories to that story to deliver verdicts on 4 appeals. Another story, lower court bars INEC from recognizing Mark-led ADC Congress. And Mark leadership hijack plot has collapsed. That is according to Kachuku. And we will study ruling and take actions. This is credited to Bolaji Abdullahi. And on other stories, as seen on the front page of the Vanguard this morning, on page 10, I made Daniel governor, Senator Abiodun. Your claim is insulting to voters, says Daniels. That story, if you're interested, is on page 10 of the Vanguard this morning. And still on the Vanguard, page 8, how we uncovered plots to overthrow Tinubu, Army tells court. And on page 10, Tinubu endorses Hamzat. That is talking about the Lagos 2027 polls. And finally, Nigeria's infrastructure spending to hit $40 billion by 2050. That statement is credited to the PwC, and you can find it on page 19 of The Guardian this morning. Moving quickly to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. The largest caption on the Nigerian Tribune this morning reads, Supreme Court decides PDP ADC's faith today. That story is on page 4. And the writer story, High Court bars INEC from recognizing ADC State Congress. On page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, police order dismissal, prosecution of officers involved in Efurum shooting. Still on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, 210 trillion naira NNPCL probe. Kyari Ajia Wunti ready to testify as Senate committee gives Ojulari fresh May 13 ultimatum, risk arrest. That story is on page 3. And also, still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, high pesticide exposure raises cancer risk by 150%. Study. That story is on page 30 if interested. On page 3, Tinubu endorses Amzat as GAC visits Villa. I am ready for the race, Lagos Deputy Governor. That story is on page 3. On page 21, Senate approves Tinubu's $516.3 million loan for Sokoto Badagry Super Highway. That story is on page 21. And if you move to page 11, in Oyo State, weighing the APC's 3 front runners, strength, structure, and the path to Agodi. That story is on page 11. On page 20, Tinubu mandates Plateau stakeholders to work towards lasting peace, donates 2 billion naira to victims. And finally, on page 6, Dangote Refinery, jet fuel exports rise sharply as World Bank IMF faces criticism over East Africa's refinery debates. And those are the stories we can find on the front pages of our dailies this morning. The newspapers we are looking again are The Guardian, The Vanguard, and of course the Nigerian Tribune. So let us go into the issues as seen. The first issue I would like us to tackle, Mr. Sani, is that of Atiku and Tinubu trading blame as US moves to tighten security on Nigeria, tightens oversight on Nigeria, as I should say. We can see, according to The Guardian, that President Bola Tinubu he has declared that the attempts by his political opponents to exploit insecurity to force him out of office would fail. He insists that he would not only remain in office, but also seek a second term. This is coming 2 weeks after the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, attributed the rise in insecurity to tactics employed by opposition political parties to distract the ruling party ahead of the 2027 general elections. Now, according to Akpabio, who spoke at the inauguration of the Nigerian Renewed Revenue Service Headquarters, in Abuja, he said the recent security incidents were politically motivated and designed to create fear and discredit the government. Now, let us look at this. Can we say that there is any iota of truth in what Tinubu and the Senate President is saying? And Atiku, on the other hand, do we think he has the credibility to actually trade words with the president as regards insecurity?
Thank you very much, Chief. In all seriousness, when the Senate President said what he said 2 weeks ago, I was like, what do these guys have for brains? But the same line of argument coming from the president is disturbing. It is really, really, really disturbing. As the president and commander-in-chief of this country, you have all the instrumentality of power at your disposal. If you know that it's your enemies that are that are responsible for what we have in the country right now, why not go after them? You have the power to arrest, to hire and fire, do whatever you want to do. You are not doing that. Rather, you are doing exactly what the guy in the next beer parlor would say. That's not how to run a country. In all seriousness, the president and the Senate president are the ones politicizing what is on the ground right now. This thing didn't just start today. If it were to be a situation that we just found ourselves in, at this particular moment, then we may say, could it be politicians? Could it not be politicians? But no. We have been on this particular road since 2009, if I'm not mistaken, when Jonathan became president. So was it President Tinubu's adversaries that were also on the neck of Goodluck Jonathan then? Were they the ones on the neck of Muhammadu Buhari and still on the neck of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Had it been that when Bola Ahmed Tinubu became president, there was peace across the country, and now towards the election, we're now seeing insecurity here and there, then we may say, is there politics behind what is happening? But no, that's not the case. 2023, when he became president, the problem was there. 2024, when he was still relatively new in office, it was higher than what we saw in 2023. 2025 was higher than 2024.
Okay.
2026 looks to be higher in terms of statistics of who are killed and maimed than 2025. It shows you that there is a steady rise in the president's cluelessness, in my opinion. The president is grossly inefficient.
Okay, but sorry to...
I'm
yeah.
actually going to
Okay.
And instead of him admitting that he is clueless, he is not telling us directly that he is clueless. Rather, he is using tact and strategy to tell us that he is clueless. If your enemies can overcome you, it shows that you are not doing your job as the president. And if you really want to help the people of that country, leave that seat so that someone who is competent to tackle the so-called enemies can face the so-called enemies. Let's now look at it from this angle. Is it a political problem? Absolutely not. A lot of people in this country believe that, it's a political game, it's an ethnic game, when in reality, it is not. It's just the problem of insecurity across the West African sub-region. I don't know if you are aware of what is happening in Mali right now. It is 1,000-fold higher than what we are facing here, such that the defense minister of the country was killed over the weekend. It was an onslaught against, in fact, it is an onslaught. It started on Friday and it's still very, very active. A lot of military bases have been overrun and those guys are not kidding. What I can say is that I really salute what the Russians are doing alongside the Malians and the Malian government. They are working hand in hand together to confront this menace in Russia, in Mali.
But sorry to read quickly, like you are giving example of Mali, Russia trying to tackle the insecurity that is presently going on
in West
Mali.
Africa.
Yes, but a lot of people would also still criticize this same administration, even after bringing in the likes of Turkey. There was a time a French general came, they had a closed-door meeting, all in the bid to tackle this insecurity. So isn't it like the administration, people would say that the administration is also moving in the right direction?
Thank you very much, Chief. The truth of the matter is that when you are in crisis and you need help, you need to know exactly who to reach out to. Because in some cases, you didn't just find yourself in that crisis. Some people put you in that mess. To get out of that mess, you cannot, if you want to be reasonable and sensible, rely on the same people who put you in that mess.
Okay.
Truly or wrongly, a lot of people have accused France of having a hand in what's on the ground.
Yeah, but there's really no evidence to back that.
I said truly or wrongly.
Or wrongly, okay.
They have accused France of having a hand in what's happening. And the people who said this are not just nobodies. The Nigerian government, I'm talking about the government of Niger, the Niger Republic government, they have come out openly to say, France, you are behind this. The government of Burkina Faso has come out openly to say France is behind what is happening in their country. The government of Mali has come out openly again to say that France, they didn't say China, they didn't say India, they didn't say United States of America, they didn't say Britain, they didn't say Germany. All three of them are saying France.
And they always say there's no smoke without fire.
When 2 or 3 people say the same thing, I mean, you just have to investigate it because it could be true.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it right.
I said you have to investigate
it.
So if the people you need to investigate are still the people you are relying on to get out of that mess, it shows something is not connecting in your head. That is just the truth of the matter. And what is most disturbing in all of what is happening is that the president has told us that he is giving his best. But obviously, his best is not enough. And yet, you are saying that, just like you read, that he's going to campaign for a second time in office.
Yeah, he has. Over the weekend, there were reports that he has actually gone to purchase his tickets.
Yes. That was James Faleke on his behalf.
Yes.
Yesterday, he came out openly for the very first time to say he will be seeking a second term. Another second term of excuses. That is not what presidents do. President brings results. Results, not excuses. That's it.
All right, thank you very much. Another disturbing story over the weekend about an officer shooting a citizen in broad daylight, and it was actually captured on social media. Now, we have reports here that the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, has approved the dismissal and criminal prosecution of officers involved in the fatal shooting of a suspect in Efurum, Delta State. It was earlier reported that the shooting occurred on Sunday when police operatives attached to the area command in Efurum acted on intelligence from members of the public. The command had earlier stated on Tuesday that the deceased, his name, Mene Ogidi, who is 28 years old, was arrested while attempting to send a parcel suspected to contain a Beretta pistol with 4 rounds of ammunition. Now, there is an accusation, and do you feel that this punishment is actually enough? Is it commensurate with the crime that has been committed here?
Thank you very much. That matter is one that I can't wrap my head around it. I saw the video and I was like, what exactly did I just watch? A guy was apprehended, was restrained by civilians at that motor park. They placed a call to the police to come and pick him up. And on arrival, this guy shot someone who had already been restrained. You don't do that. You don't do that. You only have the permission under the law to do that if that person poses any form of threat to you.
Okay, so let us look into that. Posing form of threat. How can we really define
if that person
that?
Is armed. And trying
but according to the reports, they are saying that he actually had a pistol.
That they had already collected from him. So
okay.
He was no longer harmed at that particular moment in time. He was on the floor. His hands were tied
to the back.
His legs were also tied. So there was no way he could do anything, even for himself, not to talk about against another person. You don't shoot someone like that. That's totally wrong. And it was not like he was actually in the act of committing an offense. If he was trying to kill someone or was trying to harm someone, then as a police officer, you have every right under the law to take someone like that out. But he had already been restrained and, tied and all of that. What you should have done at that particular moment was to collect that evidence, talking about the Beretta pistol and the 4 live ammunition, and also pick the guy to the station. And the guy was even shouting, I don't know anything about it. I'll take you to who owns this particular parcel. This guy didn't listen. He shot him. But there is a but there. He just read down that the IGP has ordered that he should be sacked and prosecuted.
Yes.
The IGP does not have the power to sack a police officer.
The report further says that the request has been sent to
Police Service Commission. That is it. It is the PSC that can sack
a police officer.
Not the IGP.
Yeah, it was stated there.
Okay, if that is we need to do things the way it should be done so that you don't get the result that you won't like. That's why I'm making this clear.
But
in terms of prosecution, the guy needs...
Before we get into prosecution, let us quickly look at the training of our police officers. Do you think this might play a role? Maybe because they are not well trained. Would some people think that this officer who actually committed this crime, because I don't think anybody would agree that the victim, let me use the word victim now, should be shot regardless. Like you rightly said, he's been restrained already. Whatever they found in his possession had already been collected. So can we say that this officer wasn't well trained?
That's most apparent. He was not well trained. But beyond the matter of training or no training, I suspect something more than that, something sinister. Look at the persona of the officer. It doesn't strike me like a police officer. Look at the type of hairdo he was wearing and stuff like that. I mean, the guy needs to be investigated. Was it a case of, should this guy leave this place alive? He might spill the beans. He might say things he shouldn't be saying that may further implicate me. I don't know if you are connecting what I'm trying to say. Because there is nothing on the surface of the planet that justifies what that guy did. The only thing I can say justifies what he did was that he wanted to silence him so that he wouldn't say things he shouldn't have been saying.
Also, you are thinking maybe in your opinion, maybe there is a chance that they have a dealing together.
Something like that.
Yeah, but there's really no report that says...
You won't find that report easily. You'll have to dig into
That's
the
where
ground
you investigate.
before you can unearth something like that. Because in all seriousness, why would you shoot in the full glare of the whole world, a public motor park.
And it was being filmed.
Everybody could see what you were doing, yet you still did that. The guy must have had something very, very strong in his mind to protect. And that was why he did what he did. That is my opinion. For me, he should be charged for murder, but not just him. The guy who handed the second cartridge to him, in my opinion, is as good as an accomplice to murder. Everybody that was part of that team needs to be sacked and, prosecuted, but you won't charge those ones for murder. It's only the guy who fired that shot and the guy who handed him, the guy who gave him the magazine knew exactly what he was doing. You don't give someone magazine to joke with it. You give it to someone to shoot. I handed that magazine to the guy. He wanted him to kill the other guy. So he's accomplice to murder as far as I'm concerned. But beyond that, it would be an act of injustice against Nigeria to just prosecute that guy and let it slide. We need to investigate. What was that guy? Well, talking about the police officer here, what was he protecting? We need to know.
What was he protecting? Yes. We need to know. You're still tuned on to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio situated in the heart of Olawole, in the city of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. My name is Kunle, and the voice you've been hearing over the mic is that of Olawole Konsani, who is our analyst this morning. Before we go on the quick break, still on this police matter, let's look at it. Sometimes, is there any sort of pity that we should have for the Nigerian police, especially talking about their welfare?
Well, their welfare is terrible. It is miserable. In terms of...
So do you think it justifies...
No, it doesn't justify what's on the ground.
It doesn't justify it.
What you may say is that, maybe when you call them to come and salvage a terrible situation, and they are dragging their feet to come out. At that particular point, you may say maybe they are not well kitted, no helmets, no bulletproof vests, but someone
no petrol in their car.
No petrol in their car, which is actually a very serious issue. But the idea of shooting somebody who was actually on the ground, no. Welfare cannot explain that. That must have been an evil thought carried out with evil intent in a bid to protect something sinister. Yes.
So you are still almost very convinced that there is a link?
Until there is an evidence to show that they didn't have any connection, any network, any arrangement, I'm still going to hold on to that idea, because what else do you want to use as a fact or a point to justify what that guy did? Nothing, in my opinion.
Like you rightly said, not only the police officer will be prosecuted, he is actually going to be prosecuted along 5 other members of his team. And according to the reports, immediately it happened and the IG got the wind of that story, he immediately requested that they be transferred to Abuja, the headquarters, where investigation will start and prosecution as it is supposed to be. So we'll be going on a very quick commercial break now. When we come back, we would dig deeper into other stories as seen on the front page. This is Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio, and Perspective Unlimited is the show. When we come back from the commercial break, we'll look into other stories. Stay tuned.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Let me guess, you enjoy talking. You always have something to say. And somehow, people actually enjoy listening to you. So why are you not on radio yet? What are you waiting for? Wells Radio Media Academy is giving you the perfect opportunity to become a certified broadcaster in just 6 weeks. You'll get hands-on studio experience, learn from industry professionals, and understand what it takes to actually own the mic. From radio presentation to news writing to public speaking and social media, everything you need all in one place. Admission is in progress right now as resumption is on the 18th of May 2026. Admission form is available for just 5,000 naira only. This is not one of those maybe someday opportunities. This is now. Don't just sit back and listen to other people shine. Step up and let your voice be heard. For further inquiries, call 0706 840 7359 or 0803 509 3394. Begin your journey to becoming a certified broadcaster today.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it, with delivery to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
You're welcome back. You're still on to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio situated here in the heart of Olawole, in the city of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. My name is Kunle Olowo, and on the seat with me is Olalekan Sani. We are discussing issues as seen on the front pages of our newspapers this morning. At this segment now, you can actually be a part of the show. You can join us in the studio by calling into the studio on 0916891,000 or 09153334893 or 0911-3333893. Already we have a caller. Let's take that. Hello, good morning. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, sir.
My name is George. I'm calling you from Olawole.
George from Olawole.
Yes.
Welcome, sir. You have the floor.
Chief Sonny, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
I appreciate you for your good analysis.
Thank you, sir.
The killing of that young man, Ogenemine, at the phone, the summary of the whole thing is not exactly what you just said. That boy must have been involved with some bad people, and it's like a setup. And what the man who killed him and the troop who killed him is to cover up, because if that boy was arrested and taken to the station, he's truly going to reveal the source, those who sent him to come and pick up that thing. And it will reveal so many other things. So it's a cover up so that the boy will not implicate them. That is the reason why they killed him, so that he will not be exposed. And that is not the best way to solve the problem we are having at hand. Because we have terrorists who come and kill so many people, burn down villages and so on, that are being granted amnesty today. This one should have led to know the gangs that are operating in that place, who asked him to come and pick up that person. And now you killed him. Who is now going to tell us the rest of the people who sent him to come and pick that person? This is not a good way to solve our problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. We do not have any solid proof to say that there's an involvement with the guy that was killed and the police, but we are very certain that the police will investigate this, and if they find anything, definitely it will be in the ears of the press. Now, moving back to the other stories. Okay, we have another caller. Hello, good morning. What is your name and where are you calling us from? Hello? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What is your name? Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Ruth calling from Malakia.
Ruth from Malakia. You have the floor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You know, it's so sad that those men to protect people are the ones harming them. Because no matter what the young man did, there should have been a better way to handle it instead of killing him. So it's high time security officers, especially the police, undergo proper mental evaluation. But this is happening too often. And this case should not be included. They must investigate it, and justice must be served. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Ruth from Malakia. Okay, so let us quickly look at another story. The Supreme Court would actually be delivering judgment on the ADC-APC issues, a saga, today. And according to the Punch, the Supreme Court is set to deliver judgment today on the leadership dispute in the African Democratic Congress and the People's Democratic Party, a decision that could redefine both opposition parties ahead of the 2023 general elections. Ahead of the verdict, the party leaders reportedly held an emergency strategic meeting on Wednesday night where they will review the possible outcome of the judgment and chart a way forward, moving forward. Okay, we have a caller. Hello, good morning. What is your name? Where are you calling us from? Good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Oluwadamilola. I'm calling from Bodija.
Your name is?
Oluwadamilola. I'm calling from Bodija.
Oluwadamilola from Bodija. You have the floor.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, I support the last caller. Whoever is going to be admitted or taken into the police force should be evaluated mentally. Because, at times when these guys do some things, you begin to wonder, how did they get into that place? They are meant to protect us and not to harm us. The reverse is the case. This guy should be made to face the consequence of what he has done. He should not even be forgiven. He shouldn't even be dismissed. Let him face the consequence of what he has done. He has just proven to be power drunk. Why should you shoot in the first place at someone who does not have an ammunition? It shows that there's something wrong with that guy and he needs to be punished accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oluwadamila from Bodija. And yes, according to
let me give an input here. If you want to go down the route of mental whatever, it is not going to help the prosecution, because what he is going to say is that he was mentally challenged at a particular point in time.
He would claim insanity.
And should you take that to court, you will not get the biggest penalty. So let's not say anything about mental health right now. Let's focus on it being a deliberate act. That is better.
And let us always remember that the police is our friend. And after this event happened, they have actually taken action, and this said person will be prosecuted. So going back to the Supreme Court's ruling today, Mr. Sani, what do you think is going to make any political statement, whatever the outcome is? We can't really talk about it because it's in court.
We can't dwell much on the possible outcome. But that doesn't mean that we cannot say one or two things as regards what led to the case having issue. In my opinion, it is going to have serious, very, very serious political meanings at the end of the day, because we're talking about the future of the opposition. If you look at all the political parties that we have in the country right now, in my opinion, that's the only political party that
stands as opposition.
And not just as opposition, the only political party that can actually upset the status
sitting
quo.
Government.
Yes, the sitting government. And if you want to go by what the president has said, I love it when they are in a state of disarray, I love it when there is Ula Balu among their camp, one may conclude that it's the presidency that is actually behind all of this. We do not have any fact.
There's no fact.
But one may possibly conclude that. Okay, thank you.
We have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Adeyinka from
Adeyinka. You have the floor.
I'm the president that said the love of the opposition parties in Israel. Just look at it. The FPC administration, they have almost 30 governors in their camp. So why are they now afraid of it? It really did well. So you shouldn't fear that Nigerians should be happy for him. But performance, he is very well that his performance is weak. So that is why the opposition, I read it online yesterday that said it did not be which now supposed to be. So in Nigeria, it's not supposed to be a single party state. And besides, the only one that will be contesting himself. So whereby there will be no opposition, or whereby there will be no opposition. So it's not a good one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Aderonke.
So, like I mean, it's safe to imagine, if not to conclude, to imagine that the presidency is behind all of what is happening. And if you look at the other guy, I'm talking about the ADC here, nephew Balagombe. This is someone who is a total greenhorn in the field of politics in Nigeria, and yet he is doing all sorts of things. Contracting senior advocates of Nigeria to come on. I mean, you would naturally know that there is a force outside of that guy that is pushing him. But we cannot tell if one side is going to be victorious at the end of the day. Let's leave that to the justices. Before evening today, we should know if Nigeria is still going to be a democracy or we are on the road to one-party state, which almost always ends in anarchy.
And of course, Nigeria would always remain a democracy. Let us go quickly to another story because we are pressed for time. There's a report here on The Guardian talking about the replacement. Tinubu actually removes the NMDPRA CEO and says it is in public interest and then nominates someone else named Umar. Now, going deep into the story, the President Bola Tinubu has approved the removal of the chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, that is Sadio Mohammed, citing public interest, and nominated Rabiu Umar to replace him. Umar's nomination is actually still subject to confirmation by the Senate. However, concerns are mounting over Tinubu's frequent changes in the oil and gas sector, especially the decision to remove Mohammed. So I would like to ask Mr. Sani, was Mohammed, let me say was now because he has been removed, was he really doing a bad job?
Thank you very much. There is nothing on the ground to suggest that he was doing a bad job. Absolutely nothing on the ground. Something happened 2 weeks ago that, in my opinion, makes Aliko Dangote to be a liar, in my personal opinion.
In your personal opinion?
He said something last year that the government, not just the government, the federal government takes 52% of its running cost.
Of Dangote's running cost?
Talking about cement here. That should he spend 1,000 naira, 520 naira to that 1,000 naira is going straight to the federal government in the name of taxes. That is what he said. He didn't say it once, he didn't say it twice. In fact, there was a particular instance he said it while he was at a function where the sitting vice president was, and that was in Jalingo in Taraba State. That was last year as well. This year he said, oh, I never said that. At that particular point in time, I knew something was cooking. And if you are aware of the fact, sometime last year as well, he waged a very nasty war against the former NMDPRA CEO, Ahmed Farouk, or something like that. Yes. That he was sponsoring his children in his abroad, in a very expensive school and all of that. Okay, that's fine. Ahmed Farouk was sacked. The guy who was just sacked was brought in. For no reason that we have been told, rather than public interest. I don't know what that means. They said that guy would be leaving as well, and a new guy would be coming on board. Then I did my investigation to know who the new guy is. Guess what, sir? He's Dangote's boy.
That was talking about the
new Umar. He was in charge of sales for Dangote Cement for a long time. From there, he went to Dangote Industries. I'm talking about the conglomerate itself. What I'm saying here is that Dangote is a major partaker in the downstream sector, talking about our midstream, downstream sector of oil and gas in Nigeria. And the regulator who should be telling him what to do or what not to do is now his boy. That's dangerous. That is very dangerous. It's like giving Dangote the cake and also handing him the knife at the same time. He decides who gets what, who takes what, who doesn't get what, who doesn't take what. That is not how to do it. And I believe that this is, in my opinion, reward for saying that, oh, it's not actually the federal government that is making things tight for me. You know, when he said that the federal government is the entity behind the high cost of cement, a lot of people started pointing fingers in the direction of the president. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, the president had a deal with him. Say you didn't say that thing, and I'll reward you. I'll put someone in that position. I'm talking about the head of NMDPRA, who is going to give you exactly what you want. And what Dangote has always wanted is that he doesn't want anybody to import petrol into Nigeria.
So just hold your thoughts there. I just want to explain, for purpose of clarity, the function of the NMDPR so that people can understand exactly your stand in saying that it would not be a very good thing that the person who is going to be in terms of affair is somebody close to Dangote. Now, the NMDPR is established under the PIA, and they are responsible for the technical and commercial regulation of Nigeria's midstream and downstream petroleum operations. This includes gas processing, transportation, fuel distribution, and retail. So they are handling quite a lot when it has to do with petroleum.
A lot. There are majorly two regulators in the petroleum sector in this country. We have NUPRC, which deals with crude oil.
Crude oil.
Like That is upstream. Then we have midstream, which is transportation, and partly refining as well. Then downstream, which is retail. Dangote is within the midstream and the downstream sector. Now, the guy who is going to tell him what to do or what not to do is a guy who was his houseboy until very recently. That is not how to run a government. Now we are at the mercy of Dangote. Like I have always said, the price we are buying fuel in this country is much higher than the price we should be buying.
But there was a report some days ago, Dangote even still saying that the PMS, that's the premium motor spirit, that we call petrol, that is being subsidized. That only the Jets A1 fuel is not. That's a very
foolish statement. Who is subsidizing who? Is it Dangote that is subsidizing for Nigeria? I mean, see, when I read that story, I knew too well that he was planning to increase the price. I have a role in the oil and gas industry. I understand the system like the back of my hand. Okay.
We have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What is your name and where you calling us from? Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning,
this
sir.
This is Bingamari calling from Akpata.
Bingamari from Akpata. You have the floor.
I think we should forget about this Dangote of a thing. It's not because he has no progress right or wrong. He's a businessman. And a businessman we what it costs him to ensure that he makes profit. So Dangote is business, and I think we didn't vote in Dangote to bring respite to us. We voted in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We voted in our statistical governors to bring respite. So Dangote is just there doing his business. If I to be in issue, of course I'll be doing my business and I'll be to be profit oriented. And on the issue of the killing in data, I think the ASP guy that was officer that was being dismissed. We Nigerians are waiting to see what will be the outcome of the judgment of the case in court, because it must not be swept under the carpet. And there's one question I want to ask Mr. Sonny. We learned that the guy was dismissed, and the other police officer that were with the culprit, were they also dismissed, or they are only to be prosecuted? Because the news is somehow not too clear like that. You understand the fact that the guy has been dismissed, but the other accomplice officers, were they also been dismissed?
According to the reports we have, they've all been dismissed. According to the reports.
Okay, they've all been dismissed.
According to the reports, yes.
Okay. And lastly, on the issue of the ADC case in court, well, we have already known the fact that the Supreme Court is the apex court in the land. But what do you expect to get at the end of the day? I won't say it, but I believe that it's clear to Mr. Sonny there that we all know, because he who prays the viper will always dictate the tune. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benga Mario from Akpata. Okay, back to
So for me, it's using us as tools. These people are hungry because you said that particular thing. Tell them you didn't say it, and I will reward you with whatever you. I mean, nothing could be closer to paradise than Dangote than controlling who is in charge of NMDPR.
But let me quickly say something.
Okay.
Yeah, it might not be a very popular opinion, but some people might say that sometimes it doesn't even really matter who is in the helms of affair. Yes, we understand that this person has worked with Dangote before, but there is a chance that if they can vet him and be sure that he's good at what he does, how do we know that he's not going to, still... like I said, it's not a popular opinion, but maybe some people will still be on that
as far as I'm concerned, it's not an opinion. It is not an opinion. This is a guy who has been loyal to Dangote all his life. All Dangote has been saying from day one is that let there not be importation of fuel. As I speak to you right now...
But is that good?
Very bad. Extremely bad for the system. You cannot be the only major player in any sector, not to talk of the commercial lifeline of our sector, petroleum industry. It's not of our country. It's not possible. It's not doable. Now Dangote is saying that do not give import licenses out. I should tell you something, sir. As of today, fuel that is imported into this country is far cheaper than that of Dangote, and Dangote is refining locally. That tells you that there is some price gouging. They have been doing us go.
But how do you know this? Do you have somebody who is importing?
I told you something. I said I'm a player in the industry.
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about. And it's almost $100 short of what Dangote sells to us. So what are we talking about here? Now you are going to close that chapter totally and now leave it open to Dangote alone. And at that particular point in time, you are going to have a repeat of what happened in the cement industry. When Dangote went into cement manufacturing, cement was going for 1,000 naira. From there, 6,000. Today is over 12,000 naira. Bros, dust your pocket. You go spend.
You're still on to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio. The program you're listening to is Perspective Unlimited. My name is Kunle Olowo, and the other voice you've been hearing is that of Olalekan Sani, who is our analyst this morning. We're talking about topical issues as seen on the front pages of the paper this morning, and you can also be a part of this discussion by calling into the studio on 0916891000 or 09153334893 or 0911333393. Okay, before
I should say something before leaving.
Okay.
Despite the fact that the price of cement is very, very high, there are 4 major cement manufacturers and distributors in this country. Go and find out. Dangote cement is the most expensive. It is the most expensive today. So if you are saying that, oh, it's one thing or the other that made it happen like that in the area of petrol, is this that same one thing or the other happened in the area of cement? This is this guy's character. That is who he is. Sugar, the same thing. Salt, the same thing. I think you have a call.
Oh, we have a caller on the line.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
George calling back.
George calling back.
Yes.
Okay.
I've always been saying that we should not just be talking about Dangote. Your analysis are good. I wanted to just ask how many brands of cement are we having now in Nigeria?
We have 4, sir. I may not be able to mention all of them unless my manager here tells me to mention them. I will tell you all 4 of them.
I was to ask you that question when you mentioned the number of people manufacturing cement. Now, the price difference, Dangote's own is higher. They may not all be getting their raw materials from the same source too. So we should just look at it that if we had had more people who go into this business, since there will be competition, because you may just be a distributor and you have the 4 in your shop. Nobody is going to go for the highest. When he now find out that the price, the sales that he's getting from his product is not tallying with the other people's own, you'll be forced to reduce the price of
Let me come in here, sir.
Yes.
In economics, the more you produce, the cheaper the cost of production. He is the largest producer today. So if you want
are the largest producer,
sir?
and you are not selling.
No, sir, wait, sir. He is the largest producer today. If you go to any cement store today, if you want to buy 1,000 pieces of cement, 1,000 bags of cement, sir, no other supplier can give you that. So they can match that. So what he knows is that the other guys have just few quantity to sell in the market. They will soon be exhausted, and you have to be forced to come back to him. I am doing construction right now, so I know what I'm talking about, sir.
I understand you. You know, I always dispute you because I know you make a lot of research before you come up here. But I'm still saying that we should get, this is the same thing we are talking about, this refinery of the thing. If we get more people producing this thing, you will be forced to dance to the market.
Sir, there are 4 already, sir. That's huge. That is huge. And I should tell you something, sir. All of them they have factories in Ogun State. They have factories in Benin. You should know the place, Opela. They have factories in Kogi. All of them are both side by side.
There are some very close to Boko and all the rest of it.
Yes, sir. That one don't even go Tete now. Boko cement, that one don't cast. Sir, what I'm saying here is that they are from the same places. They are doing business in the same country. They are facing the same economy, and yet his own is higher. Expensive. That tells you who he is, sir.
People who are buying, I cannot go to market and see something cheaper. I will go and buy.
If you want to buy 2 bags, you may see from another place. But if you want to buy more than 20, 50, 100 bags, sir, you have to buy.
I will go to where I will get it.
All right, Mr. Benga Mario, we wish we had, Mr. Judge, I beg your pardon. We wish we had more time to discuss and debate this, but unfortunately, this is as much as time can permit us. You are still on to Wells Radio 9.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio. Perspective Unlimited is the show. My name is Kunle Olowu, and here with me is Olale Konsani. Thank you very much for being a part of the show today.
It is always an honor to be here.
Yes, I would like to say a big thank you to everybody who has called in and has participated in one way or the other to the success of this show this morning. Perspective Unlimited is on Wells Radio 9.3 FM every Mondays to Friday between 6:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. And we draw the curtains today. Would like to say a big thank you, and join us again tomorrow for another edition. Until then, you stay tuned for the sports program coming up next after this. AM Sports. Sorry, the studio manager is distracting me here. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a nice day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
Not just another